Okay, once you've found your saddle seating position that's comfortable for you, just a quick reminder, we want to hinge forward, not hunch our back. So we're hinging forward. We're going to go ahead and seal up our clay and start centering. So we throw it down, squash it to the middle, seal up the perimeter. Just keep checking in with your body. Make sure that your back is straight, your shoulders are level with each other, your neck is tucked. It should automatically be tucked if you're looking directly over the center of your clay. If you're having the urge to look at the side, one, it's going to be really hard to center because you're not looking at the middle of the clay, and two, you're putting too much pressure on your spine in one direction and your hip in one direction. So readjust, make sure you're looking directly over the center. Okay. Once you're centered, this is when we'll take moments where we will look at the side of our piece. For profile, just make sure you return to center with a straight spine, flat back, shoulders in alignment, head tucked. Now when we're starting to lift, we can take moments to look at the side of our piece for profile. The other thing to keep an eye on, if you're tending to shift and look at the side of your fingers all of the time, it's a good chance that you've got your hands in the way, so you can't see what your fingers and hands are doing. So make sure you keep your hands angled backward. All right, now that we're lifting, we're going to slow down the wheel speed a little bit. It's good to keep your seams of your splash pan at 3 and 9 so that as you're working you have a ground, so you're not unintentionally pivoting above 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock at either side, which twists your body. It also positions your hands in a way that it's going to make the clay, your fingers catch and drag into your clay if you go above those spots. So when you start getting to larger vessels and you need to get the water out of the bottom, we can use these sponges on a stick. These come from Mud Tools. We've got to saturate the sponge first with these compressed sponges to make them absorb water. So we've got to really wet them well first. Okay. And then we are going to drop them in to get the water out of your piece. Once you're able to squeeze water out, we're in a good place. When you hold the stick, we have to hold as close to the base, the sponge that's going in, because the farther away you hold it, the more it's going to wobble, the more likely you're going to cause damage. So hold it close, usually around like an inch or two above the rim. And we use these so that we're not fishing around in the bottom, distorting the rim of our vessel as they get taller. I have to take a couple passes on this to get all the water out. I have a bunch of water in here. And again, try to keep looking directly over the center of your vessel. That's going to keep your back straighter. And these sponges from Mud Tools, one of the things that's really nice about them is the cell structure is really tight, so it's not going to cause you to have those really scratchy lines that you get from one of the more basic open cell sponges. Next up, we're going to use some tools. This is a rubber rib or silicone rib from Mud Tools. The different colors are different grades of stiffness. So the blue is very stiff. That's why I'm going to use it to straighten up my side. These cupped ones are really great for bowls. so that you can hold your fingers over the scoop, press into the middle, and scoop out to the side and back to the middle. So we're going to hold this tool in your dominant hand. For righties, we're going to hold it right hand over on the right side. And we're going to be essentially compressing our clay into this tool so that we can compress that clay down, remove any slip. This is a moment where I will pivot my eye over and be off center a little bit. But again, if we do this for a short amount of time, we're okay. It's when we stay locked in this tilted position where our spine is twisted a little bit that we can get into trouble. I'll round up that brim. Okay, we're going to trim that base off. So a little tip on trimming the base, having a nice sharp point is ideal. We're going to hold it in our hand a little bit like a pencil, but then we're going to pivot it down. This blade is for shaving, so it has to fit against the side of your piece, laying kind of flush, and we push down and in to make a trench. If we try to take that off right now, the clay is so sticky, it's going to stick right to the outside of the piece. So we're going to use your wood tool and a sponge like a spout, squeeze water into that trench. And then we're going to use the blade of your wood knife to make a slice. Get your blade under the extra clay so it can actually peel up. It lays against the wheel head. You turn it on and it pivots off. And then we can slice off.